Okay, everyone, this is a an overview of the midterm study guide. You'll notice that there are only 3 questions this time. Don't get excited, next time there will be 4. But for this first one, there are only 3 questions, and you will be randomly assigned 2 of these 3. Remember, random, you do not get to choose, so make sure you study for all 3 of these. The first question is from Chapter 1. It asks, explain how juvenile delinquency is defined and the challenges in defining it. If you review the pages listed there, you will recognize that not everyone agrees on how to define juvenile delinquency. So make sure that after you define it, you describe what those challenges are. Choose 2 of the 4 factors regarding the well-being of children as discussed in the textbook and explain why it is important to consider these when analyzing juvenile delinquency. Explain 1 of the 3 conceptions of juvenile deviance and discuss whether you agree with it. There are 3. Choose 1, explain it, and then tell me whether you agree with it. If you don't, that's fine. Give me a reason for your opinion. If you do, give me a reason for your opinion. Question 2 is from Chapter 2. Summarize the history of the juvenile justice system in the U.S., starting with the Child Savers movement and ending with the creation of the first juvenile court in the U.S. So I know that the history of the juvenile justice system is quite lengthy. The authors did a great job of explaining how, from early times, juveniles were treated. But I want you to just focus on that 19th century child savers movement and move forward to where we see the creation of the first juvenile court. So, having said that, make sure that you're providing the detail. Okay? Explain 2 periods of moral panic in the U.S. and discuss why people were concerned about the impact on juveniles. So there are several periods of moral panic in the U.S., and people were concerned about juveniles and how juveniles would be affected by these moral panics. Explain that. Go into detail. In your opinion, what is the most challenging aspect of society for juveniles today? Social media, loneliness, depression, etc. This is just your opinion. I'm curious what you think the most challenging part of being a juvenile today is. And give me at least 1 reason for your response. Question 3 is from Chapter 4. Explain Freud's theory and discuss how Acorn used Freud's idea to explain juvenile delinquency. Oh, and I just realized, question 2 is actually from Chapter 3, so I will make that change after I finish this video. It's from Chapter 3. Question 3 is from Chapter 4. Explain Freud's theory and discuss how Acorn used Freud's idea to explain juvenile delinquency. Freud's theory is a very well-known one, the id, the ego, and the superego, and Acorn did use it to try to explain juvenile delinquency. Explain differential association theory and discuss recent research focusing on the influence of race, class, and gender. So you first discuss the theory, how it was originally carried out, what the original idea was, and then more recently, how researchers today have incorporated race, class, and gender to update the theory. Does this theory, explain the 3 components of attachment theory. Attachment theory, there are 3 components, so make sure that you explain all 3, don't just list them. Does this theory seem to apply to your development? Provide at least 2 reasons for your answer. Maybe attachment theory does seem to apply to what you went through, when you were a child or a juvenile or a minor? Maybe it doesn't. But just tell me your two reasons for why you think it does or it doesn't apply to your development. That is it. I will say this. It's important that you study for all three of these. I strongly suggest you at least make an outline. That way you know what it is that you would say, what your answer would be if you were to get any one of these three. You could even save that outline in a Word document so that when you log in, you can fill out that outline and then you can just copy and paste your answer into the submission box. Another thing you can do, and many students do this because they want to get that A, they will write out a full answer for every single one of these questions. And then when they log in and see which questions they were assigned, they will copy and paste the answer for each question into the submission box and they will hit submit. And they're done. I'm okay with students doing that because they worked hard to create answers to all three of these. So just be aware that the system that I use, Blackboard, within Blackboard, does look for AI. So remember, AI, not okay, do your own work. If you do that, you should be fine.